Welcome back to the Dunwoody Dialogues. This show is produced by Discover Dunwoody, and I'm Mark Galvin. I'm your host, and we are so glad you're back with us today. We are thrilled beyond all belief to have some wonderful people in the office. Here's what we're going to, this is so important for you to know. In Discover Dunwoody, our main mission, one of our main missions, is to get groups to stay in our hotels. We want folks to come in and stay in the hotel rooms and use the meeting space, and we have some wonderful hotels in Dunwoody that can host programs. And today we have brought in one of the programs that stays at our hotels. So this group is Springtime in Atlanta, and it's organized by the Atlanta chapter of the Coca-Cola Collectors Club. I'm sorry, there's a lot there. You guys should probably have this acronym down. Big acronym.
CCCC.
Or it's a lot of C's.
SIA.
That's right.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
But it's the Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's the Atlanta chapter of the Coca-Cola Collectors Club, and you guys have been a longtime client of Dunwoody. And so let me tell you who these wonderful gentlemen are. To my far left is Oscar Segovia. I'm so sorry,
That's
Oscar.
okay.
I said that so well before
right.
we started taping. You are the social media contact, among other things, with the Atlanta chapter of the Coca-Cola Collectors Club. And we also have John Buchholz. John, welcome.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
You're the senior member, historian, the person who knows everything. They bring him in, and he's the guy that just answers all the questions. Everybody says, yes, sir. Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. That's about what I'm worth.
I love
He's the
that.
janitor,
But I
too.
have been around for a long time, and I'm just very pleased to be part of the group. So, yeah.
Well, it is what you guys do, I think, is very unique. And for folks out there that don't know, I'd love for one of you to share what is it that the club does in this specific event, Springtime in Atlanta, and why do you do this?
John?
Well, I think the thing that we do with Springtime in Atlanta is provide a vehicle for people to collect, buy, and sell memorabilia of the Coca-Cola Company.
Okay.
And primarily what we'd like to collect, even though people have a lot of new things, a lot of cookie jars, wonderful things to have to decorate their house. What we really primarily look for are things that the Coca-Cola Company, used to run their business.
Okay.
So like signs and things that were outside, tacked on barns, even glassware that was used in the drugstores, bottles that were developed across the years with different designs and things of that nature, but things that the company really used to run the business. And so that's primarily it. And there'll be a lot of that, but there'll be a lot of wonderful lower cost items that with barcodes on them at the Springtime in Atlanta too. So but we're just providing a vehicle for people to come and do that.
Okay. And these are antique items for the most part that are sold.
Pretty much. I mean, everybody likes to collect something before 1970, but that's not always the case. And there are a lot of nice items that were developed after 1970, but primarily people like pre-1970 items.
All right.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to add is the National Collectors Club started in around 1974. And Atlanta chapter is one of the earliest, one of the first. They're not the first, but they're one of the first big ones that, as a chapter, to start together. And because Easter bounces around, our events usually occur in early April, late March, mainly. But this year is at the latest possible. So our chapter of having what we call a mini convention at the time was one of the first ones out there, and it's kind of like the first one of the year because of the other chapters really get going in May and June and July and later throughout the year. So ours is, besides, is one of the first ones out there, our convention. And it mimics what the national convention is, but on a little bit smaller scale.
We're actually the second biggest convention for Coca-Cola memorabilia in the USA. And that the only other one is the national or international convention that happens in a different city each year. And so, but we are the second biggest, and that's why people like to come. They like the variety of the items that we have for sale or that they can obtain here. So.
That's great. So, Oscar, what time, where, what time, when is the program this year?
This year it actually starts on Tuesday, which would be April the 15th through the 19th, 5 days. We have events go out throughout, and it's right basically across the street from this building here at the Le Meridian, great Marriott property that we were there last year, and a great facility. We love it.
Fantastic. So let's, I'm really curious, and if you're like me, you want to see what it is that folks come in and buy. Oscar, you got a couple of examples over there. Show off what you got there.
We're proud, like the National Convention, and we actually have a lot of international members that come from Mexico and Europe.
So what is
and
that?
Canada.
What does it say?
Well, I wish I would have done my
You know
homework.
what it says.
But I know up here it says drink, and this script right here will be the Coca-Cola.
Right.
Isn't that
And this
interesting?
item was made sometime after 1968 because you can see that wave, that dynamic ribbon device that the Coca-Cola company started using in the late 60s.
So
And
the
that's
late
this
60s is when call it the swoosh, whatever that may be called, right? I'm sure that's very
Dynamic
pedestrian.
logo.
Dynamic
Yeah.
ribbon device. Yeah, this is one piece here. And again, we do have a lot of foreign members that attend. And I brought some other examples as well, too, here.
Good.
This one here is a little bit newer piece that you'll probably find in some rooms. Look Up America. This is basically, it's a bicentennial, 1976, and it's a calendar. And these were probably given to a lot of retailers, and the salesman would come in and say, hey, first week of January, need a new calendar. They want to get there quick because obviously their competitors will probably have some freebies as well. And I can show a couple of more items here.
please. This is good.
So this one right here is from the early 60s. Coke was really out of a bottle, which we all know, and for many years, and it's still now. But this right here was the introduction of cans. This is the large diamond can, and they show the bottle as well, too, on here. They want to make sure we introduce the cans, but, hey, don't forget the bottles as well.
That's really interesting. Look at the diamond on that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's it looks so interesting today compared to the cans that we're used to looking
Yes.
at. But that's the first can right there.
Yeah, these were really stronger, almost like steel cans.
Wow.
And, obviously, you have the pull tab on there.
Yeah.
And I got a couple other nice pieces here. One of them here will be, this is from the early 50s, and this would have been on top of a metal rack that either would have had a display of Coca-Cola by the six packs, or if you were by a machine, let's just say outside of a Texaco or Exxon station, and you were just out there waiting for your car to get lubed, and you're sitting out there drinking your 6-ounce bottle, and you put it back in the rack. So either it was for this display, could have been in a store at retail where it had so 6 packs, or as individual when you drank them and then you put it back in the rack. But that's a Sprite boy there that a lot of people know of and seen of before.
So you called him the Sprite Boy?
Sprite boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
He kind of looks like a man.
He does.
Is there a
And,
question whether, is he a boy or a man?
well, there's some displays out there that you could tell he looked a little older and some looked a little newer. And this one here is one of my last items here. This is actually a Canadian item here. Our friends from Canada, they come down here all the time. They'll bring some interesting pieces. And this one here is drink is in different color. And the little dot here that we still don't know exactly why that dot's there for. But this is a nice metal tin sign from, I think, 59 or 60. And
So how
it's
do you
got
know
the
that's
bottle.
Canadian?
Well, manufacturer's mark you have on there, and actually this one right here is dated here with the company here on it. And I'll put my glasses here so I can read it. It's made in Canada by Barker and -59, which will be the year it was made. And their bottles are a little different. They have nice little bubbles on there and a little bit different colors there. But these are just an example of what you might find while you're in the convention, either walking in people's room or what might be for sale at a silent auction or regular auction, or what might be at the swap meet on Saturday, which is the event opened up. That's the only
So
event
they're
that's
going through a
open to
lot
the
of
public.
information here. I'm going to back up.
Yep.
if
but
I
that's
could.
That's a lot of stuff you can
This
see.
is because this is so great. So people will set up their rooms as mini pop-up stands to sell Coca-Cola wares. When does that start? When do people start doing that?
Well, convention officially starts on Tuesday, but I know my wife and I and other folks will be arriving on Sunday. And we'll actually get there Sunday and take our time and set up the room.
Takes a little bit of time, doesn't it?
And we'll put up a lot of lights, just like what we're looking at now, to really you walk into the room and like, oh my God, look at this. You've got lights going on here. So you can see everything that you're looking at there.
You don't dare leave your hotel room ajar at the hotel because people will assume that you've got something to sell inside. So we've had many people who, and we have to really caution the regular residents of the hotel, don't leave your door ajar because you're going to have 5 members in
People
there
are
looking for
walking
what you have
in.
to sell. It's a lot of fun, though. It's a high-spirited group of people, very family-oriented, very quiet. I mean, we don't cause a lot of ruckus in hotels, and it's just a wonderful group to be a part of. But the other thing I was going to say is part of the things that help us with the collection, and one of the reasons we do this too, is to attract new collectors. We're always interested in new collectors, and so all of this stuff that Oscar was talking about, it's in different it's in different books, and so as a collector, you've got some resources you can go to say, if I want to collect a bunch of metal signs, what would I look for? And so that sign would probably be in one of the big collector books that we have. And Oscar has an internet site that you can go out and look at all this stuff and with assume prices or just some idea of what the price could be on that. And that's very helpful too. But also coming to springtime, you get an idea when you walk into 3 or 4 rooms and each one has maybe the same item and it's a little different price. Suddenly you become more educated on what the range of prices is for that. So it's just a very helpful thing. Yeah.
Oscar, do you have a store? Monday through Friday in your normal
No,
life?
we don't. We've been doing it for 40 years now, to the fact that, and we enjoy it, that we recently taken over a website, and we're updating it right now. Even though the website is still working and everything at this point, we're updating it with prices, and then we'll be putting more sections such as reproductions and fakes and fantasy and more education and photos of items out there, things that were used, and just information about certain items, if it's cardboard and how they use it, or photographs or early bottling plants. It's enormous. Everybody has different areas of collecting they like about Coca-Cola, but ours is just a website, and it's artycoke.com, and obviously when you come to springtime in our room, you'll have more information there. I won't talk about it here, but again, some of the books that John was talking about, there's one gentleman that we all know, Alan Petretti, who is he basically was our featured guest a couple of years ago. Everyone knew him for all these years, and now everybody carries their own book all the time with them, which is their phone.
That's right.
And that's why everything is more digital now. So we have that there. But away from that, you can learn going in someone's room. If someone has a lot of items that are in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, they must be a bigger collector, or at least their customers are. And then some folks who just want to sell a lot of their duplicate stuff could be a lot of the new items and newer items that John talks about with the barcode. But it's a degree of mixed mash of, in whatever room you're in and whatever floor you're in, you'll see it.
I think people would be very impressed too with just the type of people that we have there. They're just wonderful people, and they're very friendly, and they're really ready to share information to you. So especially for the new person, they can come to the hotel and look into these rooms, and they'll always get a good reception in there from people. And you don't have to buy anything. You can just be looking, and that's fine,
It's one of the things that before we started taping that I got, the sense I got from both of you is that being a member, it is a great social club. You guys have many friends in the organization, relationships that have been built on many years of getting together, not just this time of year, but others.
Sure.
What is the history of this program? Has it been in Atlanta the whole time, and where have you mostly held it?
Well, the first 2 meetings we had, or first 3 meetings were down by the airport. It was more in conjunction with the old antique show that used to be down in southern part of the city. And then after that, I think it would have been like 78, 79, we moved up to Dunwoody. The first place we had was the Marriott, and then we moved out of the Marriott to the Ravinia Crowne Plaza. Then we moved because we got bigger, and we couldn't handle it at the Marriott anymore. And then after that, we moved from the Crowne Plaza over to the Hilton just inside the perimeter. And then we moved back to the Marriott for 1 year, and then now we're at the La Meridian. And the La Meridian is perfect for us.
That is so great.
Yeah.
So I have a history in Dunwoody. I worked at the Ravinia when it was a Hyatt.
Oh, okay.
And I remember when I was there that you guys were.
That's right. I remember talking to you
there
about
at
that.
the
Yep,
Ravinia.
yep.
So we love that you've been in Dunwoody as long as you have, and we truly appreciate you coming to Dunwoody, staying in Dunwoody, and love that you're here. And I bet there's a lot of Dunwoodians out there that had no idea you guys were in the city
Yeah.
every year. So
Well,
maybe we get some new
so
people.
convenient. You've got the 285. You've got all the big roads around here, and our people love coming here, and they love the shopping. They love all the other things they can do when they come to Dunwoody.
It's all close.
So
That's awesome. What are some of the things that club members get that just non-members don't get, right? I'm sure that if I was a member of the club, there are certain benefits that I get. What are those things?
Well, registering for our springtime, you have the opportunity to buy, like this year, we have a really nice Springtime in Atlanta shirt. It's commemorative type things there, and that's one of the things there. But other items some people will bring would be more items that may be related to Georgia in Pacific or potentially Atlanta, because a lot of our members are obviously from this area. So those are maybe some unique items that you may get here as well too. The great thing about Springtime Atlanta, we're international. We have quite a few from Mexico and Canada and Europe and Spain and Japan and Belgium. These are folks that have been coming here for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
I've only been in Georgia now for 19 years, but there's folks that from out of this country that have been coming to Springtime in Atlanta all these years for 30 years, 40 years. And this is probably around our 44th, 43rd Springtime. Whenever the national convention is in Atlanta, we pause that particular year and don't have a springtime. But so we're up in the 40s, probably 44,
That's
45.
terrific. I can't believe people are flying here from Japan.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
Yeah. He's been coming forever. He
Wow.
also comes for the national convention, so he makes 2 trips a year
Oh, that's
to
great.
the USA. Yeah.
Now, we talked about the pop-ups. We haven't talked about the Saturday swap meet. Describe what that is and how that's different from the pop-ups in the rooms.
Well, the swap meet is our only event that's open to the public that you don't have to register for. I would say it starts at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock on Saturday. It will be in the Le Meridian Hotel. It'll be their larger banquet room. There'll probably be 40, 50, maybe even more tables there. So after being here all week long, we've done through all the events and silent auctions and live auctions and seminars and luncheons, and we have this event open for the public, which we hope the folks here in the greater Atlanta area, as well as in Dunwoody, to come out and see us.
Great.
It's their opportunity to come by from a lot of our collectors, kind of like the last hurrah, last day of selling.
So you guys call that the swap meet, and that is on Saturday. Is that the April the 19th?
Yes.
Yeah.
From 10 to 1. So this is 10
Yep,
to 1. Is
10
that
to
Yeah,
the right time?
right,
Okay,
10 to
great.
1, yeah. We haven't started before that, but that's one of the benefits that our members get for signing up for everything is they can come in earlier.
They get
than
early.
that.
Oh, that's great.
But the other thing too is that I'll commit for the club is that we always have giveaways from you come to the club table. We always have something that we can give people that just walking in, because we really are trying to encourage people to start collecting if they haven't. And so we'll have some things there to give away. They don't have to buy anything. They just come up to the club table and the Atlanta chapter table, and we'll give them something. So
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
So there's lots of data here. These gentlemen have you've seen this card. We will put everything on this card in the show notes. So look down below us, and you can see all the details on information, what the address is for Le Meridian, as well as those times. I want to go personal. You got something, Oscar?
Nope.
Okay. I want to go personal here. John,
Yep.
you've been to a few of these.
I have every one of them.
Why do you keep coming back?
Oh boy.
Like a bad penny, it just kind of turns up there. And I know John, has been here for every one of the springtime convention. As we're getting older, and again, you're never too old to not come to springtime. John's here at 86 years old. He's probably thinking a bunch of memories right now of of a lot of people who unfortunately are no longer with us who can't attend. But it's like collecting. If you're a collector and whatever you collect, you want to be around the people, and the people means so much. And one of the things you're probably going to ask me, so I'll answer it now, really is seeing the people we know, because, we're not given tomorrow. So,
Right.
and the other thing is we come for the people, we come for the camaraderie, being around people who like the things that we do. And so that's part of it. Obviously, I love to find a great piece. I think I was showing you, Mark, a 1936 cardboard, a large one. It won't show up here. But why do we come? We don't know.
Maybe
when
it'll be
someone
there,
might
right?
be bringing their
Sure.
collection, and they want to get rid of a few pieces. And hey, there's lots of things I love to have. I want to buy items that the oldest items or rarest items that I can afford. So we never know what's going to show up.
Yeah.
To be honest.
The other thing I like about it is the new collectors. I love to meet new collectors and try to encourage them. And it's surprising how many people are here in Atlanta who have large collections, because we see them sometimes at estate sales. And they said, we never knew this person. And they have these large collections, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to do the social part of it, which is a real shame, because I really tout the coming to the Atlanta chapter meetings. We meet once a month, and on the second Thursday of every month, and in the Smyrna Community Center. We have a wonderful meeting with people. You can come and just check us out. But that's the thing I look forward to at the swap meet as well, is meeting new people coming in. And that's why I hope that this will attract new people to come, because that's part of my really fun of doing that. So, yeah.
So, John, there was something just happened when I asked you that question, and you got emotional, and Oscar knew you so well that he jumped in, and that shows the relationship that you guys have built with each other. And I love and I think it's great that you're so connected, and that you love these people. It's not about the memorabilia for you anymore.
Isn't.
It's about the people, and that's beautiful. I think that's absolutely terrific.
Yeah.
So out of everybody that I've talked to today, this is the guy that gets it, right? That understands the value of getting together with people that you have a central topic you're interested in, but at the same time, you're building relationships.
Well, we get to meet people from and have friends all around the world as a result of this.
I love
And
that.
so, they got to be in the thousands, the people that he knows, people I know,
yeah.
people that our other members know. So it's really been a blessing.
Well, and I would argue this is probably keeping you young,
Well,
right?
I'm not sure about keeping me young, but I feel younger. I feel younger by being active.
I think
with
that's
That's
fantastic.
great. Yeah.
I love it.
John, obviously has children of his own, and they got him into collecting years ago, and that's what got him into this whole thing. And it just how we meet people along the way.
Oh, you bet.
I've been here 19 years, but I knew this group of people that I see every month or every 2 months, because I used to come to the Nationals, and like we see them there. Well, our paths cross, and now it doesn't no longer cross anymore. We now live here in Atlanta. And the other thing about the beauty of Coca-Cola, well, yes, it was created here in 1886, and the headquarters is here. There are so many executives over the years that have, when they retire, they have all these little gifts that they were made at the company, and some of them were just items that they decided not to proceed, and you never know what's going to show up here. So that's the fun part of being here in Atlanta.
That's very
on top
interesting.
of all that.
Yeah. We're very blessed, too, to have a good relationship with the Coca-Cola Company, because everything we do has to be basically authorized by them.
Oh, I'm sure it's their brand.
We're not connected to them, but everything we do basically they have to say that's okay for you to do, because we're using their names. Just in using the name in the Coca-Cola Collectors Club. Coca-Cola hyphen, we're using their name. So they want to make sure we're still up and up and doing good things. And,
that's
and
great.
so far, we've kept a very good relationship, which we appreciate.
And you're supporting the brand. The history of the brand is part of the brand. So I think that's great.
Yep.
So, Oscar, where can people find out more information about Springtime in Atlanta?
Well, I'll throw a couple of names out there. Lori Langlois and Pam Yates are running Springtime, and again, it's
Bravo
a tough
to them.
It's a tough event.
Probably hard work.
John has done it. Him and his wife have done it. My wife and I have done it, and at this year, Lori and Pam are doing it with a lot of work from everyone else in our chapter. The best contact will be springtimeinatlanta@yahoo.com. That's the email address we've had for years. It doesn't change. And that information, if you just want some questions answered, great. We will get back with you. the same time, we can send registration forms to you as well, and that'll get it going there. We have a couple of phone numbers that I can give you as well, too. It's 404-435-9543, and then another number will be 843-367-4353. So Lori and Pam, like I said, with all the other stuff they got going on there, they will answer your call. They will get you the
really?
information.
Wow.
We'd love to have you here at Springtime in Atlanta.
That's great. And we'll pull all of that information in our show notes. Well, that's
Good
great.
deal. That's great. Yeah. Couldn't
Well,
ask for more.
I love sitting and talking to you guys. John, I love the passion that you've shared, and I love how your wingman Oscar is here, and the jovialness of the two of you. Even before we started taping, this is more than just Coca-Cola memorabilia, and we appreciate you guys taking a little time.
It's a
We
family.
love that you're in
Glad to
Dunwoody.
do it. Oh my gosh, we're glad to do it. You bet.
Terrific.
Thanks for letting us do it. Yeah.
Thrilled. And all of you, thank you for watching. I'm Mark Galvin, and this show is produced by Discover Dunwoody. Our producer is Madison Holtz. Our sound technician is Emily Inser Allen. We have always suggested to all of you, hey, maybe we can give you guys some of these too.
You bet.
Our Dunwoody stickers are absolutely the most important sticker you can find at Dunwoody outside of Springtime in Atlanta. These are free. You can go to the library, you can go to City Hall, you can come here to the worldwide headquarters of Discover Dunwoody. We'd be happy to give you a Dunwoody sticker. I do think that you can find them at NFA Burger and some of the other places around the city. And if you're a business and would like them, give us a buzz. We'll be happy to give you a stack of Dunwoody stickers. Once again, thank you for watching. Please follow us on all of our social media. Easy as this. Our handle almost everywhere is Discover Dunwoody, except on X. There it's Visit Dunwoody. And our website is discoverdunwoody.com. We'll even have an event tab for Springtime in Atlanta there on our website to give you more information. John and Oscar, thank you, gentlemen, once again for being here. We appreciate you guys. I love hearing about Springtime Atlanta. And to all of you, thank you so much for watching. And now go out and discover Dunwoody.